Welcome everyone. Let's jump right into this explainer. If you're an HIS 240, you already know that understanding Kentucky means we've got to look way beyond just memorizing dates and names. Today we're doing some higher-level historical thinking. We're going to explore how modern Kentucky navigates this massive, powerful tension between its deep-rooted traditions and the unstoppable forces of modernization. How does a society handle a total transformation, from paving new highways to completely rewiring its political DNA? Because as we'll see, the ghosts of the past are never really far behind.
Section 1. Kentucky's Enduring Images.
Now, think about what pops into the minds of most people when they hear Kentucky. We're talking about global stereotypes here. The aristocratic Kentucky colonel, the Appalachian hillbilly, and, of course, an undeniable, almost religious obsession with college basketball. And hey, these symbols carry a ton of cultural weight. But contrast that with the actual post-World War II reality. We're looking at a state experiencing rapid urbanization and massive demographic shifts. These media-driven myths kind of freeze Kentucky in a nostalgically golden yesteryear, right? And that makes it really tough to see the Commonwealth's true modern complexities.
And this brilliantly illustrates the harsh physical realities of modernization. What we're looking at is the Maxey Flats hazardous waste site in Fleming County. Just to put it into perspective, between 1963 and 1977, nearly 5 million cubic feet of radioactive waste was dumped here. It completely shatters that romanticized mild Kentucky home illusion. As historians, this forces us to confront the actual costs of mid-century progress. We have to look at the intense friction between honoring the land and, well, exploiting it for economic survival. Moving right along to Section 2, the political metamorphosis.
All right, so we're looking at the exact mechanisms that dismantled Kentucky's century-old Democratic Solid South. For decades, the Democratic Party maintained control through this New Deal coalition, basically rural voters, labor unions, and urban minorities working together. But by the 80s and 90s, that coalition totally fractured. Voters started prioritizing social issues over economic ones. Driven by the massive growth of evangelical groups, a really sharp decline in labor union influence, and a rapidly widening rural-urban divide, conservative Kentuckians increasingly found a new political home.
It is worth noting that Kentucky actually resisted the political realignment that swept the rest of the South for a lot longer than its neighbors. But the dam eventually broke. By 2015, the state was voting reliably Republican, elevating figures like Mitch McConnell to unprecedented federal power, while Republicans captured both the state legislature and the governor's mansion. And this is a crucial takeaway for us. This wasn't an overnight flip. It was a decades-long realignment driven by really deep-seated shifts in cultural identity and growing polarization.
Next up, Section 3, societal shifts and challenges.
So, despite massive highway expansions and sweeping suburbanization, Kentucky remains only 58% urban today. That actually makes it the 8th most rural state in the entire nation. The old agrarian ideal still strongly holds the heart of the Commonwealth. Better infrastructure hasn't actually emptied the countryside. Instead, it's liberated rural dwellers to commute to larger towns while keeping their rural lifestyle. It reflects this deep-seated preference to, look out a window and see pastures instead of skylines.
But we absolutely must acknowledge the stark realities of this transition. The average life expectancy in Kentucky currently sits at 76 years. That trails the national average by 3 full years. This is the direct result of some deeply entrenched public health crises. We're talking about historic smoking rates hitting 30%, severe rates of heart disease, and the devastating modern opioid epidemic. It's a really sobering reminder that historical progress is rarely even, and these battles continue to cast long shadows over the Commonwealth. Finally, let's look at Section 4, navigating the future.
Former University of Kentucky President Otis A. Singletary Jr. really captured the state's psychological landscape perfectly. He said, "I can live in Kentucky because it has ghosts. Your past is not all that remote to you." I love that. It highlights exactly how the state's rich history and folklore provide a really stabilizing sense of identity amid the dizzying pace of global change. For Kentuckians, history isn't just in a textbook. It's a continuous, lived story that seamlessly binds the past right to the present.
But, as the renowned Kentucky author and environmentalist Wendell Berry notes, it is a complex inheritance, and I have been both enriched and bewildered by it. Having reverence for the past provides much-needed stability, sure, but it can also foster serious resistance to necessary change. The challenge for modern Kentuckians, and frankly for us as historians studying them, is figuring out how to preserve worthy traditions without becoming prisoners to a nostalgic yesteryear. How do you actually honor the agrarian past without ignoring the massive environmental toll of modern industry?
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on for your next HIS 240 discussion. Is Kentucky a state defined by its past, or merely haunted by it? As the Commonwealth continues to evolve, the choices its people make will determine if history is used as a sturdy foundation for the future or an anchor holding them back. I want you to apply the higher-level historical thinking we've practiced today and bring those insights to class. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the history around you.